Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Part 42. In the previous video we kicked off the final trial of the game. We made some decent progress through. We were interrogating our own client who has suddenly decided to start lying. What a surprise, our client in a court case? Oh man. I can't believe it could happen to such a lucky guy like Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Your Honor? Is that flame too hot? This lantern! There's something written on it! What? It's written in blood! You don't know that it's blood. I mean, he doesn't have the lantern here. Oh boy. But the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down, or maybe it says Ayama, I'm right side up. What the? Oh, yes, that's right. So I guess Godot couldn't see it because they mentioned something about his vision being all like fucked up, right? After being cornered and stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic at least didn't fall down right away. She must have been riding on that stone lantern behind her. With the blood that was draining out of her body. That doesn't happen. I mean, it happens in this game, but... It certainly looks that way. Why would he write it upside down? Hang on just a minute. What are y'all talking about? What do you mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's clean as a whistle. Could it be... He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. That's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark. And the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. That is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I mean, it helps his case, so I don't see why he's so flustered about it, other than just, you know, it being information he wasn't expecting, but we present information he's not expecting all the time, and it doesn't mess with him. I believe it's not been established. And Miss Elise was killed by Maya Fey. Well, I mean, that's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shishishito to alter the way the wound looked. Huh, so you moved the body? Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise was actually Misty Fey. I've committed a terrible sin. Well, I mean, it would have been a terrible sin regardless of who she was. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intend to return to the inner temple after taking care... I intended to return. I was like, what do you mean you intend to return? You're going to jail, lady. After taking care of the body. But... you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. So you waited until everything was over before making a move? And besides, why would Maya, like, assuming Maya had done this, why would she have trusted you to, like, cover everything up and not just instantly out her? No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Huh, I suppose it's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't your job as a judge to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. So then, you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey? Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved her body all by yourself? Yes, I'm quite swole, Your Honor. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That's a rickety old... Oh, when did the snow stop? I mean, I guess it didn't really matter, but... just the fact that they're drawing attention to the snow? But I mean, it still would have been snowing, so... It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across that... That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. Bullshit. You do realize you're talking to the dude who fell into the river? Because the bridge... I mean, the bridge was on fire. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. There's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought that would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Huh. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do if you crossed the bridge? The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Did I ask for more details? Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. I'm sorry, witness? But now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? It's odd. What are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple. Oh, and she didn't see the snowmobile. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments upon the subject. Maybe, but when I made it to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. Oh, okay, no. She saw it. It was still there, so it hadn't left at that time. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Order! Mr. Godot! Why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Well, I mean, it is his fucking job. I mean, just most prosecutors don't do that part. Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? I mean, his job is to find the truth, not, we picked one person arbitrarily to be the person we think did it and then do everything and it's possible to make sure that they're the one found guilty. Now, do prosecutors do that? Oh, hell yeah. but they shouldn't. Sister Bikini missed it. Maybe she didn't see it. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just, you'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. Smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? I mean, because if Godot finds Maya guilty, Mia will fucking haunt him forever? You transported the body by snowmobile? And all the way to Hazakura Temple Courtyard? Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway, and then I... Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you? Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst. Probably? More like definitely. I see. So, Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Miss Elise. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault this case has gotten so confusing. I mean, not really, but... I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iron's just trying to pin the murder on Maya. Why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Okay, so let's try the tracks question. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But, I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow is still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. I see! Snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? I mean, it sounds right. Nothing I've heard sounds strange at all. Better not get too worked up about this. Okay. So let's think about what she said here. She said she had used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple originally, but stopped at Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the snowmobile should have been at Dusky Bridge. But when Bikini came back, she saw the snowmobile still at the main hall, untouched. Which means the snowmobile had not yet been used. So she's lying there, but I don't think any of our evidence, proves that. Because we don't really have anything snowmobile related, and we have the tracks photo. Okay, so I want to look at the dialogue again about the snowmobile. You rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. So it's I mean, he's pointed out the contradiction, but Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. think she missed it. That doesn't make any sense. It's not that she didn't see the snowmobile. She clearly saw it at the wrong spot. And we still have questions about why the staff and the orb are on the other side of the bridge as well. Okay, so let's just test and see what happens if we say that statement is important, if it asks us to present evidence or something. Because I feel like that's just a trap, but I mean, it could be important. Because I don't see how what she said is wrong. Because of her, because she's saying, because she's claiming she left when it was still snowing, and like we kind of have evidence, like we don't really have any evidence in regards to what Bikini saw. Like we don't have like a testimony or anything from her. So when you said when the murder took place, it had already stopped. Oh! When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against... yeah, I completely missed that line. I thought you said when she took it back. Or like when she left or what... No, yeah, when she was taking the body back, the snow had already stopped, which is correct. But when the murder took place, the snow couldn't have already stopped, because then that would mean the bridge was on fire. I like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. But, does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Haha, this should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. So we'll press this, but I'm pretty sure we just present the weather data. There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time you... Oh, had a hiccup. Are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right, I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. Let's see how you think. Snow, huh? What's going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelations. What? Well then, Mr. Tripe, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather at the end of your index finger. What? I don't want to believe it. I don't think... Okay, this is just the regular loot dialogue. Okay, so if it's not the weather report, game getting uninstalled. Are you kidding me? The fucking bridge is on fire, therefore you can't... This game, man. It makes no sense. How is that not the answer? Because if the snow had stopped by the time the murder took place, therefore the bridge was already on fire by then, you can't drag the body back. That's extremely obvious. No, like, seriously, it makes no sense. Why is the weather report not the answer? Because that's obviously the contradiction there. I mean, it's not the freaking bridge. I mean, I just need to bring up the idea that the bridge is on fire. So I'm like, I'm almost like, is it Larry's sketch? Which makes no sense. I just had to try it. Like, why is it not the weather report? There's no reason it shouldn't be the weather report. Oh, wait, this is like way back in the wrong spot. Because the bridge is on fire, therefore you couldn't have dragged the body, because the bridge is on fire! But, like, that's not true! I mean, it's not just, like, going back here, is it? Okay. That... I kind of thought that, but I was also like, I would assume it would have to be on the piece of evidence that is new. But at least it's the weather report. Okay. I can buy that being the more proper line of dialogue, but I was also kind of under the... because, like, every other prompt in the game, whenever you get, like, a new line of dialogue, you always present evidence on the new line of dialogue. You never go back and... well, there's maybe, like... I don't think you ever do that, but... You claim the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible. This is the weather data from the night of the murder. Now, I do still think it should work on the change line of dialogue. There's no real reason for it to have to be on this specific one, because the contradiction works both ways. Or, like, the data contradicts both statements. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire? What do you mean it was... you didn't know that? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of the lightning strike the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. He's like, you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try and deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. Oh, she's been boomboxed. Man, poor Phoenix has to, like, press all the buttons himself now because he's got no assistant. Is this the first chapter we've never had an assistant? Or first trial? Because you don't even have Pearl with us. I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure you always have, like, at least Pearl with you in, like, the last game. I guess you didn't have an assistant in Trial 2 of the first game, right? Because Maya was the defendant? The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying, I will find you in contempt of court. You have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. What the fuck, dude? That's really rude. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Well, yeah, of course, but like the lady keeps lying, so how is that going to find the truth? Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witness Iris desecrating Elise's body. He makes a good point on both accounts, does he? That's right, I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now your memory of the night is hazy? It's only human to err. If you're so perfect, Wright, maybe you could explain this for the court? What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. We're gonna have to do some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Like a spell of levitation. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burned out bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. I mean, well, the more obvious line you would think is that, oh, well, she's lying about when the murder took place, not, oh, well, you can't prove that she didn't fly across the bridge, so... Like, this doesn't make any sense. Because you would just be like, oh, well, she's lying about when the murder took place, not, oh, well, that part's true. There's just, something else that we don't know. You're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Like, this is kind of dumb. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. But obviously you weren't lying, of course, it's the defense's fault. You know, you said you weren't lying, so you can't be lying. It's fucking dumb. I mean, like, even if she is telling the truth and there's, like, you know, a mystic magical explanation or something, like, there's no reason for us to assume that she's just telling the truth when it seems like she's lying, you know? Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. This be your final testimony? Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge? So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. Well, no, she lied. I mean, I don't think she lied, but like we have to, the logical thing to assume is that she lied. Is, like, if we're assuming it's a world where there's not potential magic bullshit that could do it, but like we know there's going to be potential magic bullshit because it's a video game, but in the context of the game itself, they don't know that they're a video game and there could be potential magic bullshit to explain stuff. The logical assumption would be that she just lied about when the murder took place. Not that she's telling the truth about that part, but there's some other weird explanation. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken the morning after the incident. Aw, she fucking Tarzan that shit. Then it was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. Amazing, the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. Right, I'm not only going to say it one more time. Only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Yeah, what if you could fly? Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place, I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said, the body did make it across somehow. The obvious explanation is that you're just fucking lying then. So like... Oh man. But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. Stopped? I'm terribly sorry, I was wrong. That's all you needed to say. Is you really think an apology's gonna get her off the hook? This is no joke, you're giving sworn testimony in a court of law! Well, so? Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? Yeah, it was fucking raining. Oh, you think I wouldn't know that? Yeah, it was raining. Because it rains every goddamn day. At least where I live, it's always raining. I mean, if you think about it, it's never not raining. You just have brief periods where the rain has stopped. You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it? But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, if it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. I don't remember that shit. Okay, you're a weirdo, Phoenix. Objection. No one wants to hear about your childhood trauma, Strike. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. You insist on obsessing over that one statement. Let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while I was on fire. Oh, well, I don't know if it's evidence, but... Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? You sound silly. The fact that we didn't kick you out of this courtroom after the third time you lied is what's silly. A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? I mean, yes. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. I gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. I mean, so it's the picture, but is the picture here or here? Because they did say... Not this one. Objection. No, I guess get to the line of dialogue so I can make my point. No, like, come, don't drink your damn coffee. But you insist on... Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Which is the frickin', it's the dang sketch. But I don't know if it's this line or this line. Because I feel like they both kind of fit. But we'll start here. I think this one fits the most. A dead body flying over a burning bridge? Sounds like my kind of Saturday evening, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what I mean. It sounded cooler in my head. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I mean, that's what the witness has been doing this entire fucking time, and everyone's like, oh, sweetie, you'll get it right next time. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elisa's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Laurice. Brilliant? Highly gifted apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony? That night he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think we've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming he saw the victim flying through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Hell yeah, I am. At least we've got evidence to back up our shit as opposed to like, oh, I don't know, I lied. Looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. Does this sketch... That's pretty good for a 6-year-old, okay? That's like at least a 13-year-old level drawing. Like a good 13-year... I mean, come on, look at them flames. Maybe I'm just shit at art, but like, I mean, yeah, the bridge is garbage. Like, we'll agree on that front. But like, the flames are pretty cool, the shading and everything. Even the kind of like rough, flamey outline, like that's pretty good. I mean, I think you gotta give him some credit. Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. You're so eager to turn this case upside down. Why not start with the sketch? Upside down? Oh, because it's the wire, and he's flying under, that's going under the bridge because of dang wire. Tarzan, that shit, George of the Jungle. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. So, I mean, in this one, the 2 suspension wires are still intact. But they're broken here. Or one of them is. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. So it's upside down. So she would be going, she's under the bridge. Because, like, those are supposed to be the suspension wires that are underneath the bridge, I think. Sketch drawn by Laurice is exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh! You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. You have any evidence the victim flew through the air? Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. He said yet. That means the possibility's there. Okay? I mean, if everyone else can just lie and say like, oh yeah, I saw a big human catapult. Like, you can't see it, but like, it was there. I mean, I'm not lying. It's just that has to be the explanation because there's no other explanations, and therefore it's the truth. That's what everyone else does to us. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. There must be some way, I just know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Wait, what? Oh my god, it's gonna make me redo all that shit again? That is so fucking obnoxious. Wait. Oh my god, I hit the wrong button!
Objection.
Like, does this really add to the game? Being like, oh, what if you just had to do the last 5 minutes over again? And then we're just like, we're gonna pretend, like, something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice stated over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. The suspension wires. It contradicts reality. Because see, I thought we were going to use this as evidence that the suspension wires were still there at the time. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? I mean, I don't know if it's the left or the right one, but the suspension wire. It's the wire connected to the bridge. The wire? I love that show. Omar's coming. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. I mean, I am at least glad they didn't penalize me for it, but like, I think I'd rather take the small penalty and just have me do the dialogue option again. Like immediately without having to redo the whole thing. And show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. This is what Godot's gonna sound like for the rest of the video, the rest of the Let's Play. I'm Godot. That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But in the actual Dusky Bridge, Jumping Jehoshaphat! The wires are below the guard wires. And like, once again, the logical assumption would be that Maurice is just a shitty fucking artist. Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely the artist just saw it wrong? I mean, yeah, like, you're right. Like, that is the likely thing. That's at least the logical assumption. Or perhaps he just drew it wrong. Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Maurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. Then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Because he's bad at drawing? Oh yeah, okay. Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Maurice was doing when he witnessed the event? Oh, he was frickin' upside down, dude. He was at the Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and when he laid down. But then lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Maurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. Who the fuck sleeps on their back? What a weirdo! Side sleepers for life! He was lying on his back. I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! No way! Maurice witnessed the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Oh, he turned the case upside down. And then he's going to tell you how he became the Prince of Bel-Air. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Maurice's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Order, order, order! Of all the things to say, a pendulum! Oh man, I don't know why it's making me giggle so much, but... The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found in the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. I mean, let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. That sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. It doesn't make sense the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it's just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. It's the frickin' the wire thing. It's right there on the edge. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? I mean, do we have a photo of that? Had a rope on hand to create a pendulum. Because, I mean, I remember that you could see where the wire was attached on the inner simple side, but... I mean, okay, maybe this would work? Because you can see the little dot where the wire would have been connected. I mean, I think this is the closest thing we have. If we could, like, point to it. What do you think, Mr. Godot? Yeah, okay. I think Mr. Trud is lucky there's no rope around here. Even if I had just a sliver of rope, I'd be wrapping it nice and tight around his neck. Why do you sound normal again, Mr. Godot? I should have figured I'm not going to win this one with a lucky guess. Oh, is it just this, maybe? Because you can kind of see the meaning of this is... You want to know where the... Because, like, I was thinking about, like, the idea that you had access to the rope from the cliff, you know? Like, from where the suspension thing was, but... You want to know where the rope came from? It's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Now, I do think this whole thing is, like, fucking dumb as hell, but I can roll with it, I guess. Like, the idea that you would have been able to rig the body to it and then have it throw off when the other is, like, unbelievably stupid. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste. They tied the wire around her body. Yeah, like, that would not happen. Because it would either be you, like, tied too tightly and her body would just, like, hang limply on the rope after it lost its momentum, or you tied it too loosely and the body would just fall into the river. The idea that it would maintain the right like it would stay just tight enough to release right at the height of its arc is just baffling. I mean, I'll roll with it because it's novel, I guess, but it is really dumb. He do be glugging. Mr. Godot! Bro, there's only so much coffee in that cup. Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems the odds of Orope being readily available were very high. Yeah, we're at like 50 minutes, so we should probably stop here, even though we're not quite at the end of the first section of the trial. But we're close enough. We're basically should be done with like questions and everything. So next time we will enter into the second half of the last trial and get ever so close to the end of the game. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.